Hey guys, hope you're having a good day today. I, um, man, I had a hell of a day today, in a good way. It was a good day today. Um, I did the sweat bath again. That's why I guess sweat bath part two. It's my second session of the sweat bath. I'll be honest, it was rough doing the sweat bath this time around. I think that I had just um, peeled off so much skin and got rid of so many things last time that when I even dipped my foot in the water, it was like scalding hot, but it was the same temperature it was last time, give or take a degree or two. Um, and anyways, some things I learned, if you guys ever try it, it's probably best just to dip your body in the water. I tried just putting my feet in. Oh my God, it was so hot. I got out a couple times and my feet were like red. And maybe it was the same last week and I just don't remember, but I know it was hot, but I was able to kind of like push through the pain. I think this was different. This was like it was unbearable. I must have just shedded so much skin to where it was just like fresh skin. Anyways, um, there's a few things I could probably do. I could probably just lower the temperature just a little bit, so it's not as hot. I mean, you want it to be hot, so I don't know if I'll do that. But I will definitely probably put my whole, more of my body in besides just my feet next time. I'll try to put my waist in or my torso, because I feel like the mind just amplifies pain, and when you're focused on one particular part of your body, it can amplify it to a good degree where it's like I wanted to give up and be like, "No, I'm not doing this today." And I think that's what happened in the past. I had done these sweat baths before, a few years ago. And I don't know if I did it on 2 separate yeah, I think I did it on 2 separate occasions, and I'd get to maybe, like, the 3rd or 4th, and I'm just like, "I think I'm okay." I think my body's like I would my mind would trick myself and say, "I don't need to do more. I think I'm good. That 3 was enough," you know? I'll justify it because Penny's, like, 80 years old, and I'm 40. I'm half that, so I'm like, my body's working a little better than hers. I don't think I need 12 sessions of sweat bath." Um I also think in her book, because I gave the book away to a friend, because I thought it might help him and stuff, and he loved the book. And I just didn't ask for it back, so I just bought the PDF. But I feel like in the book, you did the sweat baths every 2 weeks for 12 sessions or 3 months or so, I can't remember now. But in the PDF, I think she's updated it, and so it's like every week you do it. Um and then I probably had too many blankets. I had a few sweaters on. I think I had too much stuff on. It was like even when I got out of the bath and came downstairs and went under the blankets because you're supposed to be under 3 or 4 blankets. Um, she says quilts, so I don't know if those are more breathable or what. But I was using like a couple down comforters. I had like was it uh, a wool blanket, which those are like really warm. Like they'll definitely keep you warm, but maybe they're not as breathable as a quilt. I don't have any quilts. She didn't say you have to use quilts, but she says 3 or 4 quilts or blankets. So I think actually it might have had like 5 blankets on. And so at a certain point, I took one of the blankets off. I'm like, done. I'm not, yeah. Um, when the hour had passed, so once you get out of the tub, you try to stay in the tub for like 15 to 25 minutes. When you get out of the tub, then you go lay under the blankets for an hour. And I'm checking the time like probably like every 10 minutes. Um, but when I did it, I got so much insight. It's like every question that I wanted answered was answered to me. That was reasonable. And one of the questions was, should I keep doing the sweat baths or or should I do running or something else? And that I didn't get an answer for that. Because your guides aren't going to tell you what to do. They're here to guide you, but at the end of the day, it's your choice. But once you make the choice, they'll support you in your choices. So if I choose to continue to do the sweat pass, they'll support me. I don't see any reason not to continue them right now. So it was brutal this time around. And it'll probably only get, I don't want to say worse, but more intense maybe because the more you do them, the more your skin releases those toxins and those things, the more sensitive your skin becomes to the temperatures or whatever around you. Essentially, how I look at it, and part of the reason why I feel like I was led to do the sweat baths again, to pick that up, because it wasn't in the front of my mind at all. I was told, that I should sweat, whether that's going to a sauna or running, and I still want to try the running out, but essentially I just needed to sweat. And the first time I did it, I don't want to reiterate too much, but I went through like a purging process of just purging energies from my heart, and a forgiveness process, and also appreciation process for all the masters in my life. I have so many. I don't know them personally, but they're on YouTube, um, they're on the internet, and I can't even count it. I feel like I have more than 10 masters in my life that I followed. Like, I'm like, wow, you know what you're talking about. You know something I don't, and I want to know what you know. And so I've watched just countless videos. Sadhguru is one, Penny Kelly, Tahira is kind of a newer one. She might be part of my soul tribe. Um, and there's so many more I'm not even mentioning. There's a acupuncturist, Peng, that I go to. He's got some amazing abilities. When I do acupuncture with him, it's like I go to another dimension or something. I don't know, like, just, yeah, my energies just fuse into one. Whatever he does, it's amazing. Um, who else? Anyways, countless people have been in my life at one time or another on my journey, and they're guiding me, they're helping me in this physical reality, not like spirit guides or some energetic form. They're here. And so I've really been blessed by that. Part of it, I think, is just recognizing, like Sadhguru. Whenever I listen to a specific person, I feel like I can just discern that they're just telling the truth. Even though, like, when I first listened to Penny Kelly, somebody had recommended her to me, said, "Oh, you should watch this video." And she started talking about aliens and this and that, reptilians. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I it was in a terror, and now I'm like, oh yeah, aliens definitely exist. No hesitation. Reptilians trying to take over the planet, yeah, I mean, that's a thing. Uh, yeah. Anyways, sad this video might be taken down because of that. We'll see. Anyways, so yeah, just so many revelations. Revelations on just maybe how to have more compassion with my wife. And I feel like we talked, and we had a really good talk today, and I feel like so much better in our relationship because of that. Even though it's only been a day, I feel so inspired, or um, I feel confident and hopeful for the future for us, that I feel like we can start fresh and just, make a new beginning. Even my dog, I probably haven't been giving him as much attention, and I got insight about my dog that I should, just give him more hugs, be more loving towards my dog. Um, you know, what else? I wrote down so many things. I'll probably do a just separate videos for some of them, because it was really insightful, and I don't want to pack it all into one video, since I'm trying to come on here every day. I gotta, gotta have stuff to talk about. Um, you know, hopefully for my channel, I need to get some, some thumbnails up, and just try to be more professional. I know I'm kind of just starting out, and maybe everybody starts this way. I'm not really sure, but just felt led to come on here and talk about some of my experiences, which it just seems like every day, every other day, there's an experience that I'm having. Um, uh, the angelic frequencies I've been working with. If you guys ever heard of Ann Tucker or some of the work that she's doing, I've done a couple of her programs now, and recently I did and her programs have been phenomenal. Like, you can't even she charges a price, and sometimes it's a bit high. Um, Not high, but I mean, you might bulk at it. Totally worth it though. I would have probably paid 5 or 10 times that just to get that experience because you just some things money can't pay for, and that was one of them. So totally would have paid more for her programs, but she's got this soul convergence that it wasn't pleasant going through. There was a whole lot of trauma and different things that I had to work through, and mainly just the emotions. Man, I had so much anger, and I also had like sadness, loneliness, all kinds of different feelings just come up when I did this full convergence. But I mean, I felt it was just like a big purging of all this stuff. And she expanded the angels. Yeah, she works with the angels, the earth angels, and they just expanded my energy. Um, and people would tell me like, "Wow, your energy's expanded. You're ready, or whatever." Ready, ready for what? I don't know. Uh, the great unknown. Um, but anyways, most recently now I'm doing the angelic 9 angelic frequencies, and I'm just like crying in every meditation that I do. And so I did the first one for 3 days, just once a day, and I cried every time. No, I did it 4 days, and I cried every time. And now I started on the second one, and I cried that time. And so I feel like some things are just you know being broken down that I don't need, structures that I don't need in my energy field anymore. And I've got help. But yeah, if you guys ever watch her or check her out, Ann Tucker, she's yeah, the 9 angelic frequencies. I can't wait to get through all of them. I feel like they're helping tremendously with my relationship in my life. Today I cried because I had the feeling that I'm just gonna have whatever I want in life. Everything that I've ever wanted, I'll have it. And things may change, and maybe I don't want all the things that I used to want. Um, but like, and they're not physical things. Like, I just want to be happy. I'm gonna have that at some point. I mean, I'm happy now in a way, but I think I'm like gonna be like just blissed out happy. Like, I can't be any happier than that. I'm just high off of my own supply. No drugs or anything, just my own physical body. I'm just blissed out. But also money, I don't think is going to be an issue for me. Um, I'm working on my relationship, so I think love is not going to be an issue for me. The kids, everything is just going so great in my life right now. I'm starting to get passionate about music again. I was a musician for like 7 years and just working on my own, producing music and stuff like that. I went to school for music in Miami, and then I moved to Los Angeles, and I was hoping to, I don't know, make it big or make a career out of music when I was there, and it didn't happen. So then I felt like I kind of came back to Minnesota with my tail between my legs a little bit, like, I tried my best and I couldn't do it. I couldn't make it. But, I think it's possible now. And it doesn't have to be, you know, I don't have to be like trying to think of like a big artist like Elvis or some amazing, incredible artist that has millions of fans. And if that happens, fine. But I think deep down, I just like to make music that other people can appreciate, that I appreciate, and hope that they appreciate it with me. And I feel like that could happen. And so, recently I've started to get passionate about music again. I don't have as much time, so I mean, I work on it when I can, but the passion is there, and it's only getting. I'm only getting more passionate about it as time goes on. So, yeah, I'm just so blessed and so grateful now for this life. I've had a rough life, but it's starting to turn around, and I'm just so grateful for it. I feel blessed to have this life. I'm happy to be incarnated here, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the future. I'm excited. So, with that, I appreciate you hearing me ramble about the sweat bath. If It's kind of a weird title, but that's what I'm talking about. So I'll leave it. But I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. If anybody's interested in trying it, maybe I could link Penny Kelly's site in the description, and you guys can look up her book if you're interested in doing it. Um, if you have questions, I don't feel right about, posting it for free. I think $20, or I think you can even get it cheaper, like 10 or $15 on Amazon for the book. It's worth it. She's got a whole lot more than just a sweat bath in there. There's a whole lot of other things for kind of clearing out your body, but not only that, just how the world works. And she writes in such a way that when I read her books, I can't put them down. Like, I just want to keep reading and reading. It's just so insightful. How the world actually works, and not how we've been taught how it works. So she's got many other books. She talks about her Kundalini awakening in one book. She's got a book from what does she call it? It's a book of predictions, anyways. These ET beings came to her in her house, one time, I don't know, 30, 40 years ago, and they showed her these pictures. They, by telepathy, they showed her what was going to happen. And she wrote about it in a book. It was really good. It's one of the first books that I read from her. Very eye-opening, very not the most pleasant. Like, it's not necessarily like it's good and it's not good. The predictions, depending on which realm you're in, if you're very attached to the 3D realm and everything that it has to offer, it's not good. I wouldn't read it. You're just going to be in a state of fear. But if you're moving to that fifth dimension, and you are excited about the future and the things that are going to happen, it might be for you. But anyways, yeah, Penny Kelly, she's great. So on that note, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for listening. See ya.